So just a little progress update. I've sealed and derusted, whatever you want to call it, actually contained and sealed the inner fender from the driver's side. I'll be doing the other one next, just to show you the difference. See if I can move this out. If you can see what it started like, what it looked like was, you know, not too bad, not rusted through, but just surface rust in the light area. So basically what I did was I took it down with a wire wheel and then used Eastwood's rust containment, and it's looking pretty good. You can see down to this end, looks pretty nice. And this is in preparation so I can start working on the outside, because there's some surface rust out there, but I'll be doing the panels, you know, the right way, and contour putty and all that good stuff. Anyway, so that's just a quickie update, but if this thing rusts in my lifetime, it'd be a surprise, because it's pretty well sealed. Okay. Hey again. So I figure I'll do a little bit of a how-to, changing the sway bar end links and the sway bar bushings, and going to clean up and paint the sway bar. So to do that, I've already got this one removed, well, partially removed. You can see here the sway bar end link has been removed, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, what that all entails. And what I did first was loosen up where the bushing is. And let me get on the other side where there's a light and it's actually still in place so you can see. And so I can tell you how you remove it. So the first thing I did was up here, there's two bolts. And it's a 9/16 nut and a 9/16 bolt head. And what you have to do is get above it with a ratchet or a breaker bar, you know, something to hold it in place, and then break that nut loose from below. It's not really that tough. What I would advise is what I did, which was clean the threads with a little wire brush, get any dirt out of them, and then I just put a tiny little bit of motor oil on them, just so that the thing would thread down pretty easy. And I loosened them till they were here on the end, because I didn't want this dropping down yet. I want to be able to get the end links out. So here is the end link, and you can see it's got a nut on the top, and I'll tell you that's a 1/2 inch. By the way, those are 9/16 and 9/16, but this one, let's let this focus, is a 1/2 inch on top, and it's got a 1/2 inch, one of those little lock nut things that that Ford likes to use. So I loosened, you know, got that off first. And underneath here, you'll see that's a 9/16 head. So what I did was I put a breaker bar with a socket on there just to hold it in place, and then used an open-end ratcheting wrench on the top and unthreaded that nut. Now let me tell you something. That's got to be the finest thread nut I've ever seen, because I turned and turned and turned and turned, and it kept going higher and higher. And when I got to the tip, I was like, is it stuck on there? And then no, it was just there was more threads, and it came out. So the alignment of the bushings, and I'll show you this on the bench, be easier. This is the sway bar itself is in here, okay? And you have two bushings around it and two plates. Okay, and you have this nut, and then with this plate you have a sleeve and another plate and a bushing, and then underneath the nut with a plate, washer plate, whatever. Oh, I'll show you on the bench. It's a lot easier to see. So the configuration for putting this back is you would put a plate washer on the nut, and then a bushing, okay, and then this would slide up through the control arm, and then you would have a washer plate and a bushing on top of the control arm, this sleeve, then another bushing in the plate, and then that's going up now through the sway bar, and then the top of the sway bar, a bushing and a plate and the nut. It's not that hard, you know. When you take it apart, here's the old one, it's shot. You can tell it's shot. Let me show you one of the shot bushings. I mean, that one's just split in half. But keep them in order, and then that way you'll always remember, or you can do them one at a time. In my case, I did this because I wanted to remember the order, because I'm actually taking the entire sway bar down to clean it, paint it, and I'll be using new bushings too, sway bar bushings. So want to, if that's a couple days later, I don't want to say, no, what was the order of this again? It's not hard, but better safe than sorry. All right, and further update, yeah, coming back here, completely hit everything. Of course, there's no light, but completely hit everything, including the differential. Anything that was metal got hit with rust converter, because to convert the surface rust before I paint it, and I'll encapsulate it and then paint it. But just wanted to show you that. The reason I haven't done the back brakes is, with all this dirt and everything I'm cleaning out under there and whatever I may do, I don't want to get on the new brakes. I want to keep it like I did the front brakes, where everything was done already, with the exception of sway bar bushings, which not creating any dirt. But this is all complete, so I was not worried about getting anything on the brakes. Okay, back there, different story. Don't need dirt and brand new brakes. All right, we plug along. By the way, I did get out the sway bar. So the sway bar's out. The center brace is out. They're going to get cleaned, sanded, painted, new bushings on the sway bar, new end links on the sway bar. So, yeah, little by little, day by day.